Please be seated. Chancellor, President, past President, Dean, heads of school, faculty, distinguished guests, our new graduates, and most importantly, your families. You're all very welcome to RCSI this morning for our conferring ceremonies. Before declaring opening the ceremonies of the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland, the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, and the National University of Ireland, I'd like to first introduce the platform party. At the table to the front, from your right, is Dr. Maurice Manning, Chancellor of the National University of Ireland, Mr. Declan McGee, President of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, and Professor Conor O'Keane, Pro-President of the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland. At the second row, again from your right, is Dr. Trakta Halpin, Registrar of the National University of Ireland, Mr. Mylon Aramagasamy, Vice President of the Association of Graduates of RCSI, Ms. Judith Gilroy, Associate Director for Academic Affairs at RCSI, Ms. Fiona Mitchell from Regulation and Records at RCSI, Ms. Shuna Hearn, Academic Operations Manager at RCSI, Professor Marie Guyden, Head of the School of Physiotherapy at RCSI, Professor Paul Gallagher, Head of the School of Pharmacy at RCSI, Professor Arnold Hill, Head of the School of Medicine at RCSI, Professor Hannah McGee, Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences at RCSI, and my name is Professor Cathal Kelly, CEO. Will the graduates now please stand for the opening of the conferring ceremony?
Universitas Hiberniae Nationalis, Pre Honorabiles Cancellariae, Totoque Universitas, Haec Comitia Universitaria, Hodie convocata sunt, ut he mulieres maxime eximiae, et he viri maxime eximii ad grados academicos admittantur. This is a meeting of the National University of Ireland for the purpose of conferring degrees. The graduands will be presented by the heads of the programmes concerned, and the degrees will be conferred by Dr. Maurice Manning, Chancellor of the National University of Ireland.
I now declare open the conferring ceremony for the award of the Letters Testimonial of the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland, and I also declare open the awarding of degrees of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland. With the graduates in medicine only, please remain standing as the other graduates seat, and we will recite the declaration of the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland and the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland. If we can now together, reading page 14 of your conferring booklet, recite together the declaration of the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland. I, and your name. If we can recite it together loudly. I, your name, do hereby solemnly and sincerely promise and affirm that I will observe the statutes, bylaws and ordinance of the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland, and that I will, to the utmost of my power, endeavour to preserve the honour and reputation of the College. Now moving to page 15 of the booklet, if together we can recite the declaration of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland. And again, I, and your name, do solemnly and sincerely declare and promise that I will observe and be obedient to the statutes, bylaws and ordinances of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, and that I will, to the utmost of my power, endeavour to promote the reputation, honour and dignity of the said college. I now invite the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences at RCSI, Professor Hannah McGee, to come forward to recite the graduates' declaration with you.
I now invite you graduates in medicine, surgery and obstetrics to recite the graduates' declaration. Follow me from page 15. I will practice my profession in medicine with conscience and dignity. The health of my patient will be my first concern. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will remember that there is art to my profession as well as science, and that warmth, sympathy, and understanding may outweigh treatment alone. I will respect the confidential information that is entrusted in me even after the patient has died. I will not permit considerations of age, disease or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing, or any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will not use my professional knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat. I will respect the hard-won scientific gains of those in whose steps I walk and gladly share such knowledge with those that follow. I will abide by the code of conduct of my profession in medicine, and I will promote high standards of practice, lifelong education and research in the interests of human health. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honour. Thank you. You'll be seated.
For the award of honours degree of Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery and Bachelor of Obstetrics. Pre honorabilis cancellari totaque universitas, presento vobis has meus filios et hos meus filios, quos omne sitam moribus, quam doctrina habilis et aeneas esse qui admitter ad graduam baccalaureatus in medicina, in chirurgia, in arte obstetrica, honoro corso confecto, idique tibi fide mea testor expondeo totaque academiae.
Ego auctoritatem mihi concessa, admitto vos ad gradum baccalaureatus in medicina, in chirurgia, in arte obstetrica, honoro cursu confectum.
By virtue of the authority invested in me as Pro-President, I hereby admit you as licentiates of the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland.
By virtue of my office of President, I admit you licentiates in surgery and obstetrics of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland.
I now invite the head of the School of Medicine at RCSI, Professor Arnold Hill, to come to the lectern to introduce the graduates.
I will now invite each graduate to come forward to receive your parchment. Anwar Al-Abdul Rahim. Abdulaziz Alali. Hadil Al-Jassav. Khalifa Al-Salah. Abdul Rahman Al-Salam. Mohammed Fadli Azmi, Rayang Cho, Joshua Go Take Ho, Anusha Goyal, Tristram Hills, Haya Malala, Owen Moriarty, and Priyanka Punjabi. Priyanka?
Would you like this one too?
That's more.
I now invite the graduates in pharmacy to be upstanding, and I ask you to recite after me the Declaration of Graduates, which is located on page 15. I will practice my profession in pharmacy with conscience and dignity. The health of my patient will be my first concern. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will remember that there is art to my profession as well as science, and that warmth, sympathy, and understanding may outweigh treatment alone. I will respect the confidential information that is entrusted in me even after the patient has died. I will not permit considerations of age, disease or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing, or any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will not use my professional knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat. I will respect the hard-won scientific gains of those in whose steps I walk, and gladly share such knowledge with those that follow. I will abide by the code of conduct of my profession in pharmacy, and I will promote high standards in practice, lifelong education, and research in the interests of human health. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honour. Thank you, and you may be seated.
For the award of the degree of Bachelor of Science in Pharmacy, Pre Honorabilis Cancellari Totaque Universitas, presento vobis has meas filios et hos meas filios, quos omnes sitam moribus, quam doctrina habiles et aeneas esse qui admittor ad graduam baccalaureatus in scientia pharmacia, honoro corso confecto, idaque tibi fide mea testor, expondeo totaque academiae.
Ego auctoritata mihi concessa, admitto vos ad gradum baccalaureatus in scientia pharmacia, honoro cursu confecto.
I now invite Professor Paul Gallagher, Head of the School of Pharmacy, to the lectern to introduce the graduates.
I will now call on each graduate to come forward to receive your parchment. Clara Ali Ghalib. Aisha Elsabi. Darren Byrne. Christine Canavan. Brian Carton. Leah Conroy. Aoife Curry. Michael Coyne. Melissa Curley. Aisling Dargan. Sinead Kalesh Deegan. Maria Doherty. Stuart Duffy. Ashlyn Farrington. Lisa Foley. Naomi Foy. Sean Gibbons. Ronan Good. Giorgio Hillary. David Hogan. Catherine Howard Fitzpatrick. Groinia Johnston. Alma Judge. Emma Kennedy. Aro Kim. Lisa Leonard. Rachel McCarthy. Richard Malone. Lauren MacDonald. Liam McDonough. Helen McInerney. Michelle McGonnell. Fiona McNeila. Lovath Nankur. Sarah Jane O'Connor. Peter O'Donnell. Barry O'Hee. Colm O'Reilly. Conor O'Reilly. Daniel Reid. Muireann Redmond. Jennifer Regan. Breathe Riley. Noor Sacco. Claire Sweeney. Maud Tracy. Ciara Turner. Gillian Whitaker. Jennifer Wilkinson. Lucy Wise. And finally for pharmacy, Evan Yataki.
I will now invite the graduates in physiotherapy to be upstanding and to recite after me the Declaration of Graduates, which is on page 15 of your booklet. Okay. I will practice my profession in physiotherapy with conscience and dignity. The health of my patient will be my first concern. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will remember that there is art to my profession as well as science, and that warmth, sympathy, and understanding may outweigh treatment alone. I will respect the confidential information that is entrusted in me even after the patient has died. I will not permit considerations of age, disease or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing, or any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will not use my professional knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat. I will respect the hard-won scientific gains of those in whose steps I walk and gladly share such knowledge with those that follow. I will abide by the code of conduct of my profession in physiotherapy, and I will promote high standards of practice, lifelong education and research in the interests of human health. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honour. Thank you. You can be seated.
For the award of the degree of Bachelor of Science in Physiotherapy, Pre Honorabilis Cancellari Totaque Universitas, presento vobis has meas filius et hos meas filios, quos omni citam moribus, quam doctrina habiles et aeneas esse que admitter, ad graduam baccalaureatus scientia honoro corso confecto, idaque tibi fide mea testor expondeo totaque academiae.
Ego auctoritatem mihi concessa, admitto vos ad gradum baccalaureatus scientiae honoru cursu confecto.
I now invite the head of the School of Physiotherapy at RCSI, Professor Marie Guyden, to come to the lectern to introduce the graduates.
I will now call on each graduate to come forward to receive your parchment. Shane Brennan. Robert Brodigan. Sharon Cullen. Fiona Curtin. Sarah Deneen. Paula Donovan. Ciara Farrell. Bridie Kennelly. Ian Kenny. Patricia King. Rebecca Mahan. Jamie McHugh. Rachel Moorhead. Aoife O'Mara. Stephen O'Rourke. Megan O'Sullivan. Valerie Saunders. Lisa Turley. And Donica Walsh.
Chancellor, President, today is about honouring the achievement of our graduates, but it's also an opportunity to honour academic excellence in their junior colleagues. I'd like to invite Professor Arnold Hill, Head of the School of Medicine, to come to the lectern to present academic prizes in junior cycle.
So the junior cycle medals, there are 3 bronze medals. The first bronze medal is awarded to Oon Kiet Lim. And the next bronze medal is to Michael Ryan. The final bronze medal is to Jun Kit Ko. The silver medal and second place goes to Fahad Al Khalifa. And the gold medal and first place in the junior cycle goes to Huey Min Tan. In the senior cycle, the Dan Kelly Memorial Prize goes to Hadil Al-Jassaf.
It's a great pleasure to invite our student valedictorian for the 2014 graduations, Our valedictorian today is Ms. Sharon Cullen from the School of Physiotherapy. I'd like to invite her to address the audience.
President of RCSI, Chancellor of the NUI, Pro-President RCPI, Chief Executive Registrar RCSI, Registrar of NUI, Dean, Faculty, Graduates, Family and Friends, welcome to you all on this very special day. It is a great honour to stand here before you all and address my fellow classmates and friends, the class of 2014, graduates of Physiotherapy and Pharmacy. Today is special. It's a day for us to come together after many months apart to celebrate our individual achievements. Today is also important as it allows us to acknowledge those who have contributed to our successes and supported us over the past few years. In particular, I would like to acknowledge our families and thank them for the financial and emotional support they've given us throughout our studies. We're extremely grateful for the patience and understanding they have shown us, particularly during times of stress. Likewise, I'd like to express our gratitude to the staff at RCSI. Throughout our time here, we've been afforded the very best of teaching. We are thankful to the lecturers and clinical educators that have always gone above and beyond to help us grow our knowledge and understanding of our chosen fields. Having exposure to such dedicated and experienced teaching staff has been both a privilege and an inspiration. In spite of having the very best of teaching and the ongoing support of our family and friends, there are some things that are inevitable with any course of study. Exams and the anxiety that goes with them was something we never really got used to. For the physiotherapy graduates, I know none of us will forget in a hurry the sheer panic that sets in just before the practical exams. The fear of not being able to identify the most obvious of body parts got the better of most of us at some point or another, even the most level-headed of students. I'm pretty sure some of us still have nightmares about those anatomy exams in first year. Beyond the safe confines of RCSI, clinical placements provided us with an entirely new learning experience. We learned quickly that what is simple on paper is never as straightforward in reality. For many of us, clinical placements were more of a challenge than the exams. Although it was a steep learning curve, I know we are grateful for the experience it gave us. It is fair to say, apart from all of these challenges, we really did have a lot of fun over the past few years. Friendships that were built in college were often cemented on placements or at very sophisticated class parties at the end of each semester. I believe it is these friendships that make the class of 2014 particularly special. At times, it honestly felt like a team effort. Someone was always happy to lend a hand or leg so that others could practice and perfect their skills. So today, we can look back with pride at the hurdles we've overcome together as friends. Parting ways and saying farewell to a way of life here at RCSI is hard to do, especially when we may be uncertain of what lies ahead. However, we can be certain that the friends we've made here are surely friends for life. We can also look forward with hope and excitement at the challenges and opportunities that await us. As we find our feet in our newfound professions, we can rest assured we've been well prepared for what is to come. At RCSI, they encourage each student from day one to strive for excellence. So looking at the class of 2014, I can say confidently that this ethos has been embodied in full by my fellow graduates, with so many of you achieving excellency. A great leader once said, "It's not where you start, but how high you aim that matters for success." So I say to you all, continue to aim high and strive for excellence, as you've learned to do here at RCSI. And without doubt, success, however you measure it, will be inevitable. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sharon. I think people can see and appreciate why we're so proud of our graduates. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the President of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, Mr. Declan McGee.
Chancellor of the NUI, Pro-President of the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland, members of Council, Registrars of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland and the National University of Ireland, Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, Vice President, Association of Graduates, Heads of School of Medicine, Pharmacy and Physiotherapy, academic colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, and especially our new graduates. It is a great pleasure to welcome you all here this morning to our college to celebrate this special occasion. We also extend a special welcome to your family and friends, some making their first visit to our college, who have shared your journey and now come to share in your achievement. The College of Surgeons has been in existence since 1784 and has been involved in medical education from the outset, initially training surgeons and very shortly thereafter medical doctors, and physiotherapy and pharmacy more recently. I thought it would be interesting to have a look at what was happening in Ireland and Europe in 1784. Grattan's Parliament had just been established, restoring legislative independence to the Irish House of Commons. Waterford Glass had begun production the previous year. The last Irish grey wolf had just been exterminated, probably in Carlow, our Dean's home place. The first Irish manned flight in a hot air balloon took place just 1 year after the world's first ever flight in the Boîte de Boulogne in Paris. I was fascinated by the speed of adoption of new technology back then. And tragically, 1 year later, in 1785, a crashed hot air balloon set fire to approximately 100 houses in Tullamore and is described as the world's first aviation disaster. So even then, there were risks associated with being an early adopter. Of course, more significantly, within a very few years, our founders would have closely watched the beginning of the French Revolution, followed by our own 1798 insurrection. But I've now talked myself into a cul-de-sac, so I'll move on. The November conferrings are a very happy time for our college. In addition to the 106 graduates from this event, we will confer more than 900 awards, including nursing, multiple courses in healthcare management, leadership and education, postgraduate degrees of Master of Surgery, MD and PhD, and the Master of Pharmacy on behalf of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ireland. In total, we will graduate more than 1,000 over the 2 days, the largest RCSI conferring ever. So, 1,000 handshakes. Already my right hand is aching, perhaps some preemptive physiotherapy or prophylactic analgesia from my local pharmacist would have helped. But for now, we concentrate on you in this room, over 100 new young graduates embarking on careers in medicine, physiotherapy and pharmacy. This is your first professional qualification and marks the first step on your career path. Today for you is a great occasion, a milestone, a celebration of achievement. Achievement through ability, application, sacrifice, excellent teaching, and in particular, the support of family and friends. You deserve to celebrate it, and you probably have, and you deserve all of our congratulations. You may feel that at last you have come to the end of an exhausting period of study and learning, but the bad news is it goes on forever. Lifelong learning is the lot of a professional, and especially a healthcare professional. I very much enjoyed being at your graduation dinner last night. I spoke earlier about first ever events. Last night, we had the Sam Maguire Cup held up by a Fermanagh man and a Carlow woman. I don't think it'll ever happen again. It was gratifying to hear from your class representatives how much you all enjoyed your time here at RCSI. I hope that is true because we want you to maintain strong connections with RCSI throughout your professional lives, benefiting from the Alumni Association with its ever-expanding list of international chapters and the evolving mentor network, and in due course contributing to it by making available clinical rotations, electives, and so on from your own practices. I certainly hope that the pharmacists among you enjoyed your time here because you are destined to have very real connections with the college in the coming years. First of all, with the internship and Master of Pharmacy programme, which many of you have already commenced, and then carrying on with your obligations to continued professional development at the Irish Institute of Pharmacy here in our college. Today, you've become the newest constituents of what I call the RCSI World Wide Web. Wherever you choose to practice in the world, you will never be far from a fellow Royal Collegian. In common with the other disciplines who will graduate here this week, you are now charged with using your new and enhanced knowledge, wisdom and skill, first and foremost for the benefit of your patients. For the first time in this college, all of you, doctors, physiotherapists and pharmacists, and all the other graduates over the 2 days, have made an identical ethical declaration based on the ancient Hippocratic Oath. During your professional lives, your adherence to these principles will be challenged and may be challenging, but they're fundamental to a life as a healthcare professional. A new challenge to maintaining probity is the pervasive presence of social media in our lives, and problems arising from its use have already emerged. These include inappropriate communication with patients, misrepresentation of credentials, breaches of confidentiality, and omitting names does not exonerate inappropriate dissemination of clinical photos or data, depiction of intoxication, and use of discriminatory language. The Mayo Clinic coach their trainees in this regard and lean on Justin's pause before you post campaign. Before posting online, consider the following questions. Who will be able to see what I post? Will anyone, including myself, be embarrassed or hurt by it? Am I proud of what I'm posting? Is this consistent with my values as a healthcare professional? I will finish by quoting a hero of mine, Dennis Burkitt, a surgeon born and brought up in Fermanagh, my own county, and who spent most of his working life in Africa working with very limited resources. He is most renowned for the discovery of the epidemiology, cause and treatment of a common fatal childhood cancer, now called Burkitt's lymphoma, and also for identifying the role of diet in many Western diseases. In addition to many international awards, he received an honorary fellowship of this college in 1973, and when asked to inscribe his books, he often wrote, "Attitudes are more important than abilities. Motives are more important than methods. Character is more important than cleverness, and the heart takes precedence over the head." Congratulations again to all of you, and on behalf of all at the Royal College of Surgeons, I wish you success, satisfaction and happiness in your future careers. Thank you.
It's my great pleasure to introduce the Chancellor of the National University of Ireland, Dr. Maurice Manning.
President of the Royal College of Surgeons of Ireland, President of the Royal College of Physicians in Ireland, Registrar, Dean, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, and in particular our new graduates. As Chancellor of the National University of Ireland, I'm delighted to be here in the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland for this morning's conferring ceremony. This is the third, as the President has told you, third of 4 conferring ceremonies over the course of yesterday and today, a sign of the continuing growth of RCSI and the increasing diversity and reputation of its programmes. The connection between the National University of Ireland and the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland goes back to 1977, and for us it has been a very rewarding and enriching partnership. On behalf of the University, I'm delighted to welcome those of you being conferred today with degrees in medicine, pharmacy and physiotherapy. My warmest congratulations on your achievements. I'm also very pleased to see so many of your friends and family here to share this celebration, and I'm sure that they are very proud of what you have accomplished. Today marks a significant moment in your lives and in your careers. It is both an end, but also, as the President said, a beginning. It is the culmination of a very intense period of challenging study and clinical practice, one in which you have assimilated a formidable range of information and mastered complex skills. It has been a long and demanding journey, and today we publicly recognise and applaud the high standard of knowledge and ability you have attained in achieving the qualifications with which you have been conferred this morning. You now stand on the threshold of opportunity. It's a very exciting time when we reflect on the astonishing achievements of the European Space Agency last week, the historic landing of a robot probe on a comet 4 billion miles away, hurtling through space at 40,000 miles per hour. We are reminded of the infinite potential of human endeavour. For the university, The conferring ceremony is not just a celebration of your individual achievements, but also of the tremendous potential you offer to develop and shape ideas and innovations that will make a positive and lasting impact on our society. In this respect, we are particularly proud of our graduates in the health sciences, whose advances have such a profound and meaningful impact on all of our lives. The diagnostic, therapeutic, and curative innovations developed within your professions have quite simply transformed human existence. As you leave here today, I would urge you to always retain that spirit of intellectual curiosity, that quest for continuous improvement that characterized your studies in RCSI, and which is the root of all progress. Seek out new horizons and continue to push the boundaries of knowledge of practice in your chosen career, wherever that may take you. And I have no doubt that in the proud tradition of RCSI alumni, you will make a significant contribution to the advancement of our society in Ireland and around the world. The success of the Rosetta space mission is also, of course, a singular example of the extraordinary collective potential that can arise from the combination of individual talents. This has a particular resonance within the health professions, a distinctly interdisciplinary environment where teamwork, cooperation, and collaboration are a fundamental part of the working culture. As NUI graduates, you are now also valued members of the NUI family, a diverse network that spread across the globe. I hope that throughout your lives, you continue to maintain that connection to and a common bond you share with that community, and that you find in it a source of strength and support in both your personal and professional relationships. On behalf of the university, I extend my sincere congratulations to today's new graduates in medicine, pharmacy, and physiotherapy. I sincerely and warmly welcome you all as new members of the NUI community. This is a day of celebration, a day to be enjoyed, and I know it started before today, a day to be enjoyed and to be remembered in the years ahead. For the parents, the families, and the friends who are here, the conferring day is also a great occasion. In various ways, you have supported our graduates and contributed to their wonderful achievements. I know that they are truly appreciative of all your assistance and encouragement, and that it is very fitting that you are here today to enjoy in this celebration. For the President, Registrar, Dean, and all of the staff of RCSI, and for colleagues in RCPI, it's also very gratifying to see such a large cohort of graduates emerging successfully from the college. On behalf of the National University of Ireland, I extend my congratulations to you also. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I add my own congratulations to our new graduates, and also my sincere thanks to the RCSI staff, academic and administrative staff who've helped you so much on your way. This concludes the formal proceedings. I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you, our newest graduates, and your family and friends to join us in the College Hall for a reception. If I can please ask you to be upstanding for the outward procession.